to everyone. If you're watching this video, then you are part of the TTOR Army, an army that is building itself up one subscriber at a time. And if you're looking at the background behind me and you're listening to my voice, you're probably thinking, wow, I've never seen Justin in that room before, and why does he sound different? Well, back in December, I actually bought my first house, and with the help of friends, family, and some professional contractors, I worked on renovating the house, and then last weekend, I moved in. So now, moving forward, all of my TTOR videos that are created offline and then uploaded later, and all my live streams will come right out of this room, which is my new home office. You can see the air conditioning unit in the wall behind me. What you can't see behind me is a little station I set up for my original Xbox with its own TV monitor and table. If I want to play that, I just turn around where I am and scoot forward a little bit, and voila. And I got my stuff spread out all over an entire house instead of in my little room at my parents' house that I had been in since 2017. And here we are today. But today in particular is not about me moving to my new house and filming this out of my new office. No. This is about the future. More specifically, it's about the future of video sharing websites, because YouTube is a censorious pile of crap. Has been for years, basically almost a decade at this point. YouTube censorship has been a thing, and it has not gotten better. It has gotten worse, and there are lots of YouTube alternatives that exist, but there are three in particular that I want to talk about today as being the future when it comes to video sharing websites and freedom of speech and being able to express ourselves without fear of censorship. Now, the first one is not a long-term future, in my opinion, but it's still a future that, for now, is much better than what we have on YouTube. And that, of course, is Rumble, which you can see right here on the screen. Rumble is a video sharing site that is owned by Donald Trump's media company, the same one that owns Truth Social. So Rumble is, in a sense, in a manner of speaking, it is Donald Trump's YouTube alternative. And it is a big website at this point. Is it as big as YouTube? No, it is not as big as YouTube, to put it lightly. But millions upon millions of people have registered and created accounts on Rumble. Rumble has an active monthly traffic base that's like well over 100 million strong. I don't know how big it is today, but it's still really big. No video sharing site in the alt tech scene has gotten anywhere near as big as Rumble has. Basically, any popular person on the internet that you can think of that covers news and politics and maybe even religion, they're on Rumble. Rumble is a very good site because they do not censor the things that YouTube does. I mean, there are literally things on YouTube that I cannot talk about open and honestly without having individual videos taken down or my entire channel taken down. But on Rumble, those same topics that would get you banned from YouTube or your YouTube videos removed, you can talk about those things openly and honestly on Rumble and no censorship will occur, which is a very big deal. And Rumble's not so crazy about not allowing people to have copyrighted music in their live streams like YouTube is. So when you combine the freedom of speech with the more lax approach with letting people use copyrighted music in their streams, assuming they're not taking credit for it, Rumble is a way better site to stream to than YouTube is. So all my live streams that I do are on Rumble and some other sites, which you're going to hear about later in this video. But I stopped live streaming to YouTube a long time ago because of the freedom of speech issues and the copyright music issues. Because I like to put some really good copyrighted music in a live stream just to get people in the mood for whatever live stream I'm about to do. Because the music I play is just like in the first 6 to 10 minutes of a live stream. It's not like throughout the whole thing. And I do like 2.5 hour live streams. So like a few minutes of copyrighted music in the beginning while people are filtering in. There's nothing wrong with that. And Rumble allows me to do that. So Rumble live streaming is a very good thing right now. As a matter of fact, if you ever want to catch me live on my channel, whether it be for the God TV radio podcast or for the TTOR show, or if it's to see me on the Proverbs Guys Ministries network, Rumble is a place to do that because they allow me to restream the Proverbs Guys live streams to my Rumble channel. Those are all the good things about Rumble. But Rumble is not perfect. It has issues that make me think that while it's a great alternative to YouTube in the short term and the long term, maybe not so much. One of the things is that Rumble has a hate speech policy that specifically prohibits bigotry against Jews, which I'm not a fan of bigotry against Jews. It is wrong, especially when it comes from the mouths of Christians who claim to believe their Bibles. But we live in the United States of America, and the First Amendment says that you can be as bigoted as you want against people, provided that your speech does not incite violence against said people. So you can be as big of a bigot as you want against anyone, including the Jews in the United States of America, and it's legal, as long as no violence is incited by your speech. With that being said, if you want to be bigoted against Jews, well then you're going to get some public responses from people who expose your stupidity and your bigotry. But those people need to be allowed to express themselves so that we can respond and expose them for the fools that they are. But Rumble does not give you that freedom, at least according to their TOS. Now, I don't know how much they actually enforce the rule, but the fact that it's there in their TOS and their community guidelines is problematic. Another problem I have with Rumble is that they tend to cater to two groups of people. They tend to cater to content creators and podcasts that are already really popular on YouTube and in other places. And they cater to live streamers who stream for like 3 to 5 hours minimum, 5 days a week. And that's one of the other problems I have, is that when you look at Rumble's creator program, where they're trying to take small content creators and help them grow and promote their channels on Rumble for a period of time in a way that helps them grow exponentially, the only people who are allowed to be in that program are people who are willing to stream 2 to 5 hours a day for 5 days a week. Those are the only people that are eligible to be in Rumble's creator program, which is completely unfair to small creators like me who simply don't have the time in their lives to live stream to any video site, much less Rumble, more than a couple hours a week. Someone like me streaming to Rumble for 2.5 hours on a Saturday night, that's literally all the time I have for live streaming. Rumble's creator program does not support creators like myself who do a lot of offline uploads. Now, if they had a creator program where people like me could get promoted and we could see some growth just like the streamers do, provided that we upload, at least, 1 or 2 videos a week and reach certain other metrics that are attainable for us. That would be great if Rumble did that. But until they do that, Rumble clearly does not support small creators like myself who are not streamers. And they clearly are more interested in promoting people who are already popular instead of trying to promote independent creators who actually care about Rumble and try to help them become popular exclusive to Rumble. So yeah, there's issues with Rumble that in the long run make me think it's going to run into problems and eventually could become censorious like YouTube currently is. But that's why the future of video sharing is not just with sites like Rumble or sites like BitChute or Odyssey, which are already dying. There are other video sharing sites that are the future of video sharing sites, and one of those sites is FTJ Media, which is a relatively new video sharing site. And the reason why I know about this website is because my friend, Seeking the Truth, or Josh Who, as he goes by on some social media handles, he actually works for FTJ Media as an engineer, I think is the title he used. But basically, he's one of their tech guys that helps them with their tech issues as they come up. And FTJ Media is ran on the A video script, which is the same script that Seeking the Truth's old website, Josh Who TV, ran on. Now, if you're a longtime follower of mine, you know that I used to be on Josh Who TV. I used to promote Josh Who TV all the time, either with my own videos or having Seeking the Truth come on to promote Josh Who TV. Josh Who TV was a really cool video sharing site that I really enjoyed, and for a time, I actually got really good traffic on the website relative to the website size and my subscriber base. FTJ Media is a little different than Josh Who TV, but it's still really good, and it operates on the same freedom of speech principle. Because if you go to FTJ Media's community guidelines, terms of service, you will not find a hate speech policy. Not even one that prevents bigotry against Jews. No, there's no hate speech policy of any kind. FTJ Media runs on First Amendment protections, which is how every video sharing site based in America should be operating. So you can do the live streaming, you can upload videos from offline. It's all good on FTJ Media. One of the things they do to get by and be able to pay for all of their storage costs and their technical costs for their service is that in order to be able to live stream or upload to FTJ Media, you have to pay $50 a year, which is not bad at all. That's like $4 and something cents per month. That's what I'm paying to be on FTJ Media, and it's no skin off my back. It's a really cheap cost. But you do have to pay some money in order to be able to upload or live stream to the website. So if you're one of those people that wants to be able to upload to a video sharing site without having to pay them money, you might be turned off by FTJ Media. I'm not, because it's a cheap price, and my friend's on here. And I did a live stream on FTJ Media not too long ago, and it was very active. And lots of people were commenting and interacting with the stream, and I just had a grand old time here on FTJ Media when I did my first live stream. So going forward, I'm going to be live streaming to FTJ Media as well as Rumble, and I will definitely be promoting my FTJ Media videos. But there is another video sharing site that I would like to promote here tonight. One that is very similar to FTJ Media in terms of the technology, and that is Quarter. Quarter is my very own open source alt-tech alternative to YouTube that I founded back in, I believe it was May of 2022. So we're approaching the 3-year anniversary of when Quarter went online. Man, time's just flying by. And Quarter is based on the same A video script that FTJ Media is ran on. So I have basically all the same features and functionality that FTJ Media does. There are a couple of differences though. Like, for example, I don't have a paywall on being able to upload or live stream to the website. So if you like the concept of FTJ Media, but you don't want to shell out $50 to be able to upload and live stream to the site for 1 year, and you want to be able to just do it all for free, well, then you might prefer Quarter over FTJ Media. Plus, I make Quarter as best as I can look similar to the layout of YouTube in terms of the user interface, which a lot of people are more comfortable with than FTJ Media, which seems to basically have the dark screen loadout, even on their light mode. Well, I guess they have it set to where the light mode you have to turn on. But Quarter is the same thing. I have the light mode as default, but you could just as easily turn on the dark mode, and it becomes the dark mode, as you can see right there. But aside from the paywall difference, there really isn't much difference between Quarter and FTJ Media in terms of not just the technology, but the philosophy. Because just like FTJ Media, Quarter operates on freedom of speech principles. I'm the person who founded this site. I'm the person who runs this website, pays the bills for it to stay online. I'm a First Amendment advocate. I'm a free speech advocate. I believe, as an American citizen, that you do have the right to say whatever you want as long as it's legally protected by the First Amendment. And so, that's how Quarter operates. As long as what you're saying or doing is legally protected by the First Amendment of the United States of America, and as long as it isn't terrorism or pornography, you can say and do whatever you want on Quarter. No skin off my back. Now, if you say something really stupid on Quarter and I respond to it by pointing out how stupid it is, well, that's going to happen, but you're going to be able to say whatever you want regardless. You're not going to be censored at all. And that's the beauty of the future of video sharing sites on the internet, is that we're not just reliant on big websites like YouTube or Rumble to get by. We can start our own video sharing sites, those of us that have the drive and just enough resources to do so. Quarter operates on about 180, 190 bucks a month on average. And when I tell people that, they're like, no way, that's crazy, because look at all the features you have on Quarter. You have HD video upload capacity, including 4K resolution. You have live streaming. You have free restreaming. You have public playlists. You have an easy-to-use comment moderation system. You have the ability to create your own video chat rooms that you can then live stream to your channels from. You have the ability to post articles to your channel, which basically is like a blog function that allows you to not only write articles, but you can also embed videos onto your article from basically any video site on the internet that allows HTML embedding codes. And Quarter has a point system called Quarter Bucks, where if you get views on your videos, you actually earn Quarter Bucks. And if you get enough Quarter Bucks, you can promote individual videos, or you can promote your entire channel on the front page of the Quarter website. All that functionality and features on 190 bucks a month. And that's a huge deal, because there are actually a lot of people out there who would try to convince you that it costs lots of money to start up and run a social media video sharing site as complex as Quarter is. They would tell you that it takes like tens of thousands to $100,000 a month to do all the things that you can do on Quarter. And yet I can do all those things on Quarter for 190 bucks a month. Now, when the website starts growing and we get a lot more users and a lot more videos are getting uploaded, then we're going to need more funds for getting servers for video storage and for getting better encoding servers eventually. But even in that scenario, you're not even coming close to the amount of money that the tech people in general would tell you you need to have a site like this. So don't listen to them. The future is not YouTube, and even though Rumble in the short term seems like it is the future, it really isn't in the long run, because they don't favor the little guy, and they have a hate speech policy already on their website. So you have to look at video sharing sites like FTJ Media and Quarter to have the real freedom of speech. It doesn't mean you shouldn't use Rumble. I think you should use Rumble as much as you can now, because lots of people are there and you can grow an organic audience there. But you should also be going to sites like FTJ Media and Quarter, and you should be live streaming to those and uploading your content to those, because when sites like Rumble eventually go bad, and I think the odds of them going bad in the long run, like over the next 5 to 10 years, that's very possible. You want to already be set up on alternative websites so that you can't be censored. And that's the beauty of this little setup that I have going here with all my videos spread out across all these video sharing sites, is that even if I get censored on one or a couple of them, I'll always be up on others. And in the worst case scenario, if I get censored on all the others, I still have my own video sharing site that I run and operate to upload content to. So I can't be censored due to how spread out I am across the internet. And that's the way you should be too, especially if you're a video content creator. And if you're watching this video and you haven't already, I would encourage you to create a channel on Rumble, create a channel on FTJ Media, and create a channel on Quarter, and get that content spread out so that when you eventually get censored by YouTube or YouTube becomes unusable because you're so algorithmically censored and can't get any views, come to our websites. We'll take you in. And if you share us around, you'll get more views than you do on YouTube.